Having sex can be a blessing and also a curse depending on who you're having it with. Sexual relationships are highly spiritual. So if you're having sex with someone who is not your wife or your husband, you're not just exchanging pleasure or bodily fluid, you're exchanging spirit, your energies, your mind, your traumas, whatever it is you carry, you're exchanging it with that person. So it's not about, I don't come next. No, it's not next. Because you've just exchanged quite a lot right there. You might have left her bed, but her spirit has not left yours. Now, this is not to put fear in you or to judge you or anything. It's just about bringing you enlightenment. Okay, you need to understand that we are not animals. The difference between human beings and animals is that we human beings, we have will, we have our minds, we have emotional control. Okay, animals just move around, eat, procreate, and just die. But human beings, you know the difference between good and bad, right or wrong. Our emotions are not there to control us, but we are supposed to be able to control our emotions, not allow it to rule us and decide what happens in our lives. It's not everything I feel like doing that I get to do because I understand that every action has consequences, whether good or bad. Now I get it. As a young man growing up or as a young lady who is not married, the temptation is tremendous. Sex is selling everywhere. They sell it to us in the commercials, in the movies. The fact that everybody is doing it doesn't make it right. When it comes to entangling sexually with people that are not your significant other in the right way, in a legal way, there are so many consequences. Biblically, there are consequences, and even scientifically, it has been proven that you get to bond emotionally with these people. And I'm not sitting here to say this as a scientist. I'm not a scientist, all right? I'm not posing as one. And I am not a certified therapist yet. Okay, so if you're asking her why is she saying these things, what authority does she have to say this thing? Well, I'm sorry. You can check the next video. But if you stick around, at the end of this video, you're going to learn a thing or two. Now, let's look at this from the biblical perspective. In First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18 to 20, it says, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whosoever sins sexually sins against their own body. You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. Now, this is the Bible. There are so many other verses of the Bible that speak against the sins of sex. Okay, I can't go into all of that now, but this is like a summary to tell you that every other thing you do is like outward, but when you go ahead and sleep with someone who is not your husband or your wife, you're sinning against your own body. Now, coming to the scientific aspect of it, like I said before, you bond emotionally with this person. This explains why you meet an ex whom you've parted ways with like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and the moment you see the person, you feel the urge to kind of entangle with the person again. The way your body will just be doing you, you're like, I think I still love this person. It's not love. It's because you've been emotionally bonded with that person. Scientifically, it is said that when you have sex with someone, your body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone in women, and dopamine in both sexes. And this creates emotional attachment, even though you know that that person is wrong for you, but you can't seem to be able to stay away from the person. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 deep truths to consider before you pull pants, brother. Before you pull pants, sister, before you spread leg. Reason am. Because there are so many deep implications to having sexual relationships. And like I said, I'm not judging you. I understand the pressure. Pressure there everywhere. You're dating someone as a man and she's like, oh, all over you. Oh, prove to me that you're a man. Show me, say they stand. Or you're a woman and you're going out to the man and he's like, you need to get pregnant for me first. How am I supposed to know that you're fertile? All sorts of things are being said. So the pressure is mounting. But regardless, if you know your worth, you know your value, you would know that if that person wants you to be in their life, if they really want you in their life, then they are going to wait. They're going to wait. Like seriously, they would wait. Nobody should put you under pressure of having premarital sex just because you want to prove to the person that you're fertile or you can get pregnant or whatever. Anything can happen. Having a baby or having a child doesn't start and end with just getting pregnant. You can get pregnant and lose the pregnancy. You can even give birth to the child and the child will not stay. A lot happens. Okay, it's not just about proving your fertility to anyone. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. The first thing you should consider before you lay with that person is that soul ties are real. When you sleep with someone, it's not just about the pleasure you feel and the way the person makes you feel. You are really exchanging a whole lot, your energy, your spirit. And you know, the dangerous thing is that you don't even know what that person carries. Recently, I was listening to someone, and the person was like, when you're having soul ties with somebody, the spirit you're carrying from that person multiplies exponentially. I'm not a mathematician, but I understand that when you say exponentially, it means that almost it is plenty. For those of you who are mathematicians, please explain to us in the comments. When something multiplies exponentially, it's like when that if that person maybe has seven spirits in them and then you're sleeping with someone who probably has other partners, she goes ahead to sleep with other partners, collect from those people, add it to the one she has, and then put everything on your body, couple with the one that you already have before. Your body just now retreat, it just they do for your body. Do you understand? So like I said, please don't be scared, but at the end of the day, sometimes we need to face reality. A lot of noise is out there. A lot of people, everybody has a mic these days, and some people, their mics are even louder than the truth. All right. But in as much as all of that is going on, we also need to speak the truth. Okay. And it's okay if you don't believe in all of this, because some people will say, I don't even believe in God. Why do I have to believe in this? Is BS. What is she saying? No, you don't have to. But for those of you who believe that there are severe consequences to having sexual relationships or intercourse with people who you're not married to, then you need to pay attention. Because as a man, you might be thinking that, oh, I'm doing all right, and all of a sudden you just become depressed. You just begin to feel certain things that is not even in your lineage, is not even in your life. Like you're wondering, where is this coming from? Depression, trauma. You can't even get a hold of yourself. It might just be because of the person you slept with. You don't know what they carry. It's not as if these things are written on our faces. It's not as if you can look at the lady and you just see everything she's carrying on her face. Just the way you can't know if someone has an STI or STDs. It's not written on the face. That person might be as beautiful as anything, might be as handsome as anything. All right, so soul ties are real, and soul ties are not so easy to break. Number two, it weakens emotional clarity. Sex creates a false sense of intimacy. You think you're in love, but you're actually just addicted to the person because of the way you feel. Like I said, scientifically, when you have sex with someone, some kind of hormones are released and you feel a certain way and you begin to think that you're in love with the person, and you think that when the person is around you, you can't even control yourself. Your body go dey do you jiggy 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 jiggy. No be love with that. If your body they do you jiggy jiggy jiggy, maybe you should see a doctor. All right. Love does not make you feel like you want to jump out of your skin. That is probably an obsession. Like I said, I'm not saying this in as an expert, okay, please. Deep like that. I'm just sharing with you the insights I have, the experiences I've had, and the things I've learned through life. One other thing it does to you is that you won't be able to differentiate what is right and what is wrong for you. Even though somehow, sometimes subconsciously you're feeling it, your mind is telling you that this person is not good for me. Whenever I'm around this person, I tend to indulge in bad behavior. We just keep smoking, drinking, getting high, and everything. And yet, I can't seem to be able to separate myself from this person. That is because you've already bonded sexually. And it takes the grace of God for you to be able to remove yourself from that kind of situation. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're not even entangling in that way yet, it's always much more easier. Even if the relationship doesn't work out in the end, the breakups seem easier, seem less toxic. Not the one that you're breaking up and it's like blood has to be shed, or a lot of things are just going down because you think that you've invested so much of your emotion, you've entangled so much that you can't even pull away from yourselves. You begin to hear things like, I don't come up belay for you, I don't do this one for you, how will you leave me now after all this sex, after all the this, after all the that. Being in a relationship without sex, honestly, it makes dating and relationships and even courtship much more easier. It helps you to have clarity of mind, clarity of thoughts. You're seeing everything like black and white. There is no clouding of your judgment by the way you feel, by the emotions that you feel inside of you. Number three, it damages purpose and spiritual vision. Many people cannot hear God anymore, not because God has stopped speaking, but because their vision is distorted. It is hard to walk in divine purpose when you're constantly engaging in something that God clearly asked you to wait for. You know, God is not mocked, He's not a fool. If He's telling you to wait for it, He has His reason. He's a master strategist, He's a master planner. Nobody is as wise as God. So imagine Him creating something, putting it in your body, and telling you to wait for it. Wait until the right time. Wait until you have your partner who you're legally married to in the eyes of man and God. Then you can do this. If He's saying you should wait, then I think it's worth listening to. Sex is very beautiful. As a married woman, I can tell you this. It's one of the most pleasurable things on earth. Very beautiful when you're doing it without feeling guilty, without feeling fear, without being afraid of anything. It is one of the most beautiful, in fact, the most beautiful things on earth. But outside the right context, it becomes the weapon formed against your life. I am not here to condemn you or to judge you or anything, far from it. I am not perfect myself, okay? But before you lay with her, before you lay with him, ask yourself, is this temporary pleasure worth the long term pain? So, this is the message. If it spoke to you, leave a like, drop a comment. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced anything like soul tie before, if you believe in it or not. And don't forget to share with someone, because this message might just be the only thing that is going to save someone from making the biggest mistake of their lives. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you who are just seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Wendyzeal. And for my returning subscribers, I love you. Thank you so much for always supporting me. Stay blessed, stay cheerful, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.